The Miami Heat have chosen their direction, and for the moment, Andrew Wiggins is part of it. According to the Miami Herald's Anthony Chang, the Heat will plan to begin the 2025-26 season, with Wiggins still on the roster. According to Chang's report, this is because Miami still has interest in seeing what this mix will look like. Overall, this is a notable decision because of what this team has already shown it is willing to do when the math stops adding up. And if recent history tells us anything, it is that the Heat are not going to be the ones to sit back and wait should the season open on a sour note. 2025 MLB All-Star Game. Riley Green talks Tigers' success with MLB on Fox crew. The Miami Heat have chosen their direction, and for the moment, Andrew Wiggins is part of it. According to the Miami Herald's Anthony Chang, the Heat will plan to begin the 2025-26 season, with Wiggins still on the roster. According to Chang's report, this is because Miami still has interest in seeing what this mix will look like. Overall, this is a notable decision because of what this team has already shown it is willing to do when the math stops adding up. And if recent history tells us anything, it is that the Heat are not going to be the ones to sit back and wait should the season open on a sour note. The context around this is important. The Heat are in a very different place than they were this time last year. Jimmy Butler is gone and Norman Powell has arrived, while Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo are now the foundational building blocks. There is enough talent here to be dangerous, but also enough uncertainty to make the whole thing feel fragile. So bringing Wiggins into the equation and letting it play out may feel risky to some, but there is a sense of calculated curiosity at play. What it really is a calculated trial run. If things are working out, great. But if they're not, it's not like Miami is going to have any issue with pivoting. Andrew Wiggins will remain with the Heat to start 2025-26. Wiggins has become one of the more unpredictable veterans in the league. He has nights where he looks like the ideal complementary wing, hitting open threes, defending his assignment, and doing the little things that help teams win. But he also has plenty of nights where he floats through possessions and makes little to no impact. That inconsistency is what made him expendable in Golden State, and why the Warriors were willing to move him in the Butler deal in the first place. Now in Miami, he gets a new chance, but the leash may be shorter than ever. It's not going to take much for trade chatter to heat up again, especially if the Heat stumble out of the gate. This is a franchise that has always operated with urgency. Even after dealing Butler, the front office did not take long before adding a supremely skilled two-guard in Powell. But for Miami to remain competitive, every piece is going to have to pull its own weight. If Wiggins does not show he can be relied on, or if he looks like a poor fit next to Miami's current personnel, then the Heat will act accordingly, as they always do. So for now, Wiggins is here. But as Miami has shown in the past, for now may not last long. Takeaways from the Heat's dreadful 92-72 loss against Cleveland at the Las Vegas Summer League on Sunday. Black small square for the most part. Kel'el Ware responded favorably to a public challenge from Eric Spoelstra.
But more is still needed.
After an underwhelming start to Summer League, Ware was far more aggressive, active, and engaged, hitting a hook shot on Miami's first possession en route to an 11-point first quarter that also included an alley-oop dunk from Javonte Cook, a three-pointer, 2 blocks, and a steal. In the second quarter, he showed rare public emotion after a strong, physical post move that led to a three-point play. He went to the half with 17 points and 6 rebounds and finished with 21 points on 8 for 14 shooting, with 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, and a steal in 27 minutes. On the flip side, he was on the floor when the Cavs were dominating the boards, including an 11-3 edge to start the game, and was sometimes caught flat-footed. At times, he either forgets to box out or doesn't do it forcefully enough. Cleveland out-rebounded the Heat by 16 even though Ware, 7-0, is 3 inches taller than any Cavaliers starter Sunday. Also, scurrying back on defense in transition remains an issue at times for Ware. And Ware was on the floor during a 13-1 Cavaliers third-quarter run that pushed Cleveland's lead to 18. His teammates shouldered more of the blame. Ware also was stripped when he clumsily put the ball on the floor during one sequence, leading to a transition dunk by Cleveland. Nevertheless, This was a far better effort than Friday's low-bar performance in a loss to Atlanta, when he had 10 points and 6 rebounds in 26 uninspired minutes, with the Hawks outscoring the Heat by 21 points during his time on the floor. A day later, Spoelstra, in an out-of-character moment for him, said Ware has to really embrace and improve his professionalism, his consistency, his approach every single day.
He has to get better with that.
It's learning how to become a pro. I understand that he was 20 last year, and he's 21. But we have bigger expectations. It's not your normal growth and growing pains of a young player learning how to become a pro. But that's what this summer is about. Learning how to become a pro, learning how to be consistent every single day. The talent is there. The professionalism and consistency has to improve, and it is. Our standards are not going to change, and our expectations and how fast we want that to improve for him are not going to change. But he has to get better at it. He has to take ownership of it. Consider the message delivered. How much was he trying to make a statement after Spoelstra's comment? I mean, it all comes down to, like SPO said, just putting in the effort, going out and playing, Ware said afterward. That is just what I wanted to show that I can do. Why don't we see that effort all the time? You will, he said. How strongly did you take Coach's message? I just took it as motivation. Obviously, he's the coach, and he has that trust in me, and he wants to see me be the best I can be. So I took it as motivation. Before Sunday, Ware had been unimpressive through his first 3 Summer League appearances, averaging 12 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks per game, while shooting 13 of 33, 39.4%. from the field and 1 of 10% from three-point range in those games. He's now 3 for 13 on threes this summer, after making 2 of 3 on Sunday. Heat Summer League coach Eric Glass called the team's overall performance, which included 24 turnovers, really bad, but said of Ware, "That's what we've been waiting for from him." And then it translated to everything else. When he comes in with that focus and that intensity, the rest of his game blossoms. He has that potential, and we want to see him do it again tomorrow. Black Small Square rookie first-round pick Kasparas Giakoušionis had his 4th quiet game in 5 Summer League appearances. After erupting for 24 points against Atlanta on Friday, Giakoušionis took only 5 shots, making 2 of them, and closed with 6 points, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers in 18 minutes. After missing all 11 of his three-pointers in 3 games in San Francisco, Giakoušionis made 5 of 9 threes on Friday before going 0 for 2 on Sunday. Of his uneven play, Glass said, "I think it's part of the deal. He's going to be up and down. He made his shots. Everybody got excited. It's not a linear process, especially when you're 19 years old." One of very few highlights on Sunday, he stripped a Cleveland ball handler and hit a layup on the other end, his only basket of the first half. To his credit, he would have had many more assists in 3 games in San Francisco and 2 games in Las Vegas if his teammates had made more shots. Giakoušionis opened alongside Eric Stevenson, Pelle Larsson, Keshad Johnson, and Ware. Black Small Square in his penultimate Summer League appearance, Larsson played well early and late. He finished with 14 points but also committed a team-high 5 turnovers and had just 3 boards in 28 minutes. And Larsson and teammates could do nothing to stop a Cleveland Avalanche in the third quarter. Larsson has a knack for drawing contact and hit 6 of 8 free throws after going 9 for 11 from the line on Friday. He also both his three-point attempts, an aspect of his game that must become more consistent after he made 32 of 95 threes, 33.7%, as a rookie. Larsson is scheduled to play in Monday's game against Boston, 8 p.m. ESPNU, before leaving Las Vegas to join the Swedish national team. If Spoelstra opens with a starting lineup of Bam Adebayo, where Tyler Herro, Norman Powell, and Andrew Wiggins, then Davion Mitchell and Nikola Jovic likely would be the 6th and 7th players, in whatever order. That would leave Haywood Highsmith, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Larsson, Simone Fontecchio, and Terry Rozier competing for 2 or 3 rotation spots. There's no doubt that Larsson's $1.9 million contract will be guaranteed. Only $977,689 of that salary is guaranteed. The rest becomes guaranteed a few days before the start of the regular season. Forward Kashad Johnson's summer league play remains disappointing. The Heat guaranteed his $1.9 million salary by a late June deadline, but the question is whether his roster spot, as well as the open 15th roster spot, would be better utilized on a veteran backup center and another shooter, free agent Alec Burks, as protection in case Harrow or Powell is injured. Johnson mustered 5 points and 4 rebounds in 27 minutes, shooting 2 for 10 from the field. In the Las Vegas opener, Johnson had 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 8 fouls in 27 minutes. He had 5 more fouls on Sunday. His work on the glass and the three-point shooting, 0 for 5 on Sunday, must both improve. The Heat sees upside with Johnson, but there hasn't been appreciable growth this summer. It's doubtful that the Heat would release him and eat his salary, but Miami, which stands $4 million above the luxury tax threshold, could hypothetically try to unload him to a team that would take his minimum salary. From a financial standpoint, the problem is another player and salary would be required to take his spot on the roster. The Heat has said it prefers to not be a tax team this season because it would trigger the punitive repeater tax. The Heat likely will need to look elsewhere to fill at least one of its two-way contracts. Former Michigan and FAU center Vlad Golden, who has one of the Heat's 3 two-way contracts, did not play on Sunday after hauling in just 1 rebound, but also shooting 5 for 5 from the field in 13 minutes on Friday. Keep in mind that teams can replace players on two-way contracts at any time. The Heat's 2 other two-way spots are open, with Drew Smith expected to fill one of those spots as he works his way back from a torn Achilles sustained last September. Though Cook and Stevenson have had some good moments in Summer League, nobody on the Heat's Summer League roster has made a compelling case for the third two-way spot. Cook shot 0 for 5 on Sunday. Veteran Kira Lewis Jr. isn't eligible for a two-way contract. Despite acquiring Kasparas Jakušionis in the NBA draft, the Miami Heat are still in need of a veteran ball handler. Jakušionis will need multiple years before he can step into the role of being Miami's lead playmaker. In a recent article, Bleacher Report's Greg Swartz named the Heat as a potential landing spot for Russell Westbrook. The former NBA MVP is currently an unrestricted free agent after declining his player option with the Denver Nuggets earlier this summer. Although he's 36 and far from a perfect player at this stage in his career, there's no doubting that Westbrook can still bring the juice to a team's scoring attack, Swartz wrote. Westbrook would join a guard rotation that features Tyler Herro, Davion Mitchell, Norman Powell, and rookie Kasparas Jakušionis, giving Miami a dynamic playmaker that can still get downhill and attack a defense. With making a playoff run still very much the goal, Westbrook can keep the seat warm for a year while Jakušionis learns the NBA game. Westbrook would likely slide straight into Erik Spoelstra's starting lineup. He would provide elite-level playmaking, especially when running the floor in transition. However, adding Westbrook would do little to solve the Heat's limited floor spacing. Nevertheless, Pat Riley couldn't ask for much more, from a talent standpoint, when signing a player to a veteran minimum deal. Heat are likely done making trades. In a recent episode of the Zaslow Show 2.0, ESPN's NBA cap expert Bobby Marks explained why he doesn't expect Miami to make another big move ahead of the new season. "I mean, listen, we're going to see probably within the next couple of days, Beal become available in free agency," Mark said. "I think the Norman Powell move eliminates that as far as what they need. They're a little bit below the first apron, so they can go out and sign a minimum guy if they want to do that. But I'm not anticipating another big move." Therefore, acquiring Westbrook via free agency could be a smart move by the Heat. He would bring significant experience and would easily elevate the team's guard rotation. After all, Terry Rozier's future with the franchise is questionable at best. Jakušionis excited to play with Heat stars. Regardless of whether Westbrook signs with the Heat or not, Jakušionis will get a considerable amount of playing time in the upcoming season. Spoelstra is a proven commodity when it comes to developing talent. He will know how to get the best out of the rookie. When speaking to the media after being drafted, Jakušionis shared his excitement at the opportunity to play with Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo. "The playmaking ability is what I do," Jakušionis said. "I'm just grateful to play with guys like Bam Adebayo. We can play together in pick and rolls. And Tyler Herro, and all those kinds of players. I'm just very happy and grateful to be in this place. I'm so excited. I'm just grateful for this moment to be in this place with this opportunity to get my name called. It's special for me. That was what I was working for all my life since I was little, and that was my dream. But now this is just the beginning, and everything starts from new. If Riley does manage to convince Westbrook to move to South Beach this summer, Jacusciones can add another name to the list of players he's excited to learn from. After all, Westbrook could teach him a lot in regards to being an elite playmaker and offensive-minded guard in the NBA.